What up?
It's such an honor to meet you.
How are you?
I'm great. We both got the red going on.
You already know
It's
this is my
already a good thing.
my favorite color, baby. This is my color right here. I'm
Yeah.
red all day.
Yes.
That's dope. Where you from originally?
I'm from Philadelphia.
Oh, Philly. Man,
Philly.
Philadelphia is one of the best places like when it comes to music. I used to
Yeah.
the Fugees and the Roots used to perform together. And like Philly,
Yeah.
like yeah, we
Yeah.
used to do these underground things. Um, it's
I
dope.
love
I
it.
definitely love it. So, how long you been singing?
I've been singing since 2008.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's when I realized I wanted to sing.
Yeah. What made you discover like your voice?
Um, this singer, Jason Mraz,
Yeah.
he inspired me because not only his music, but who he is as a person and how he uses his platform to spread his message of love.
Yeah.
And I've always been a loving person, and
Yeah.
I was like, this is the perfect way to spread my message.
Yeah.
And he's so creative, and he's not afraid to mix genres together.
Yeah.
So that's what I do, and he really inspired me to get into that.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, what I've loved about what I was hearing is even like coming up, there was always a stereotypes like being raised in the projects. You know, like you from the projects, you're not supposed to listen to Nirvana. You know, or I was listening to like the police synchronicity, all that good stuff. And then I was still listening to like Earth, Wind and Fire, and listening to Johnny Cash, and somehow in my brain it was just either like good music or bad music. So
Yeah.
I love the eclectic of a lot of what you're doing. Um,
Thank you so
I'm a
much.
big huge fan of Sade,
Yes,
and
same.
okay, so if I was to give you any like small pointers, right? Um,
Hmm.
what sonically, like the minute I heard your voice, it took me to a natural Sade space. Um,
Yeah.
what I used to love about Sade's production was sort of like a sound was developed just around her voice. You see what I'm saying? And then that
Yeah.
was just the movement of the voice. So like I think what y'all doing is great, and I think like blueprinting because we all like for me it's like when I'm doing music I think of like Bob Marley a lot. Production I be thinking of Quincy Jones on how much he did and how you spread things out in a vast. So for me, I would say developing it into to a complete sound now. So when people hear it, they're like, "That's your sound." So that's what like the minute I heard it, I was like, "Oh, it's like it's wow, it's you and Sade." You know what I mean? Like just that vein. Like when you hear the vocal, me as a producer, I just heard your voice against an acoustic guitar, like for
Oh,
7 songs. You know what I mean? With nothing but an
yeah.
808 around it. You know what I'm saying? And just bloom, bloom, bloom. Stuff like that. But it's pretty amazing to me that you started singing in 2008, and
Yeah.
yeah, and vocally you're cutting through.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, you're cutting through. Definitely cutting through. I always say, um, like, cause people be like, to me, you're comfortable in your style of singing, which is very, very important. Because what you be having is, it's like being in the studio with Whitney Houston, she was Whitney Houston. Then when I was in the studio with Lauryn Hill, she was Lauryn Hill. Beyonce was just Beyonce. And everybody just was, Mary J. Blige. Everyone just is comfortable in their voices, right? No one gotta, no one trying, Whitney's already her. So what makes Mary J. interesting is she comes with a pain factor, you know what I mean? And from your voice, I'm getting a whole like love vibe, you know what I mean? Are we the people, like let's spread love. Cool
Yeah.
runnings, you know what I mean? Philly vibes. So definitely hot.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know, like I was hearing like you against like a small band, like the way I hear like the Sade. When you said the
Yeah.
whole, like Philly, You got some crazy musicians out there, man. Great, great, great musicians, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So what's fun? My relationship with Philly goes as deep as the Fugees' first label that they were signed to was in Philly.
Really?
Yup, it's called Rough House Records. Yeah. Like Philly always had the pulse. So great to see it coming back. What are you doing currently now? What's your focus now? As far as the music, are you on an EP? What's your focus?
I'm trying to do an album by the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my focus right now.
That's dope. You in
Because
college?
I've always, well, at least for the past year, I've just been releasing singles because I thought that it's better to do that because people focus on that one song more.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to do an album because I haven't done an album for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that singles are more successful, or do you think that albums are in this current?
Well, the first thing is, what determines a successful single for you? Is the question. Like what because success to each artist is completely different, you know? Like I know artists that they're like, man, I'm doing great, and they only have 50 people that show up at their show. And they're like, Clef, trust me, man, in 3 years, there's gonna be 50,000 people. So
Yeah.
their success is based, like, they're like, yo, if I get 1,000 people to stream me, I base that successful. If I get 2,000 to stream me, to listen to my music. So my question to you is, you know, what that's the first thing you have to figure out, because this is tricky. What determines success? Because what happens is, which race do you want to run? There's many races. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this business I'm in is called show business. Right? 80% just, it's the show. 20% you might come across some alien talent that makes it, you know what I mean? Out of everything that you see or hear on the radios, right, what, 2% versus all of that raw talent. So what do you determine as success for a single?
To me, if they hear it and they want to share it without me having to prompt them to do so, like they feel driven to want to share it on their own. So that's what I consider it to be.
That's dope. And then, so if that's the case, then you keep putting out your singles. And how are they sharing your singles right now? How do you feel that your community is sharing your music right now?
Social media is a big thing now. So a lot through Twitter and Facebook, mostly Twitter, I notice. So yeah, I do have a lot that help me in that way. But I want it to grow. Obviously, I want to expand my audience and have more people doing that, and just a solid group of people that'll stay and support all the time like that.
All right. So there's probably a few things that you have to do. Do you have your YouTube channel built?
Yes, I do. That's actually my biggest social media that I have.
Yeah, it should be, because literally your YouTube is your own television station at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the interesting. So for what you said that you want to do, I'm gonna give you simple analytics. So to subscribe on your YouTube, that's somebody who's going to take their time out, right? So what's the subscription you think you have on your YouTube now?
The amount?
Yeah.
I have 130,000 subscribers.
Right? So, but think about that. So you really have music now you can put out to a community, right? Because literally you're like, yo, this is my next single, my community, look at it, right? So after, out of like 135,000, you already know at least 10% is going to click on that regardless to see what's happening.
Yeah.
So that's the start. So in saying that, you could still put out singles and still put out albums. There should be no rules to what you're doing. You literally have a community of 135,000 people, right? Think about that, man. If it was like our era, like back in the days, But this is how you have to look at it, right? You show up in an arena and there's 135,000 people. That's how you have to look at it. So,
Yeah.
and then so those people, you can get them to engage. Do you know how you can? You know the way that you know you can get them to engage is the fact that they subscribe. So it takes time out of somebody's busy schedule, whatever they're doing, to be like, okay, let me subscribe to this. So 135,000 people think that you're it. You're the it factor. So I mean, this is where it starts. You know, we've watched kids like Chance the Rapper, you know, different kids. Even like I watched Fetty Wap. You know, he was like discovered through his SoundCloud. So once again, I think you just keep cooking. I love what I'm hearing. I think it's really, really incredible. You know.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
We have 4 more minutes, so
Wow.
we have 4 more minutes. So if you might.
Are you in the studio now?
Am I in the studio?
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Okay, cool, cool. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make sure that I subscribe to your channel,
Oh,
so I
thank
could,
you.
so I could follow the whole Philly movement, and I definitely look forward to that. I definitely want to listen to some stuff, and then when we
Thank-
come, and I'm gonna be looking. I'm telling you, make sure you get the band, rock out, and then another thing you're gonna need is now you're gonna have to start opening shows. So literally, another thing what we used to do, I mean, I call it like the rock and roll formula. We literally would go from bar to bar to bar to bar to bar, like get in a car, and we did like half of United States. You know what I mean? And came around, did it like every couple of months. You hit that like 10 cities, right? So you're your own business now. So literally, you can put the tag out like, yo, I'm ready to tour. Like no one is stopping you from showing up in Nashville right now. You know what I'm saying to you? So you literally, the same way like you're building, so there's 3 parts of it, right? So you're building the social profile, you're making that bigger. The idea of how you get your music out, engage the fans now, make them want to, right? And now don't just engage them in the internet and in this space where I can't feel you, but I could see you, right? So the last part about it is physically, you know, try to have someone on your team start booking you in small places. Start, because I'm watching you, like you could be at Jazz Note, just at different places. Start appearing with 3 musicians, you know, and the vocal thing, and just now it's gonna be, all that's gonna do is keep spreading the YouTube bigger and bigger.
Okay. Thank you so much. It means so much to me that you took the time to listen and give me all this advice. It means a lot to me. I grew up listening to your music, so this is crazy.
Thank you so much, and you keep it up. And I'm gonna make sure, it's so funny because the next mixtape is called Wyclef Goes Back to School. We're gonna contact you because I have an idea, but I can't say it yet. I'm a pretty crazy dude when it comes to music. I have an idea. I'm gonna listen to more of your stuff.
I will respond to your message.
All right.
I promise.
All right, baby girl. All right, you already know. Warrior Gang, bang, bang. You already know. Philly, for real. Love.
Philly.
All right.
Philly, represent red.
Yes.